Time for our first look at sports. We say a very good evening to Damian Best.
Very good evening to you, Lisa. Good evening to our viewers out there. Well, the launch of Achieving Excellence Caribbean Soccer Coaching Manual has come in the greatest time of need for players living in the Caribbean. That's according to its author. Now, the coaching manual is the brainchild of the former England cricketer and former head of the Sports Academy at the University of the West Indies, Roland Butcher. He says the manual is designed to ensure that players from the grassroots level and onward receive the right training, organization and coaching needed to elevate the standard of play throughout the Caribbean.
What tends to happen with players tend to just turn up for training and just do what the coaches say and not fully understand their role as well. As a player, really, you need to study as much as possible so that when you actually turn up for training and the coach puts on various coaching sessions, you are aware exactly of what he is trying to achieve and the reasons why he's trying to achieve them. So this manual is very important for players in that sense. For coaches, really what it does, it gives the coaches the opportunity to develop sessions that are appropriate and linked to the age group and to the overall development of the player, so that you don't coach a 15-year-old as you would a 9-year-old. There are two different types of people, so you have to have different development programs for them. So it really highlights all of those areas.
Butcher is actually a B-licensed UEFA qualified football coach and was a school coach at English Premier League club Arsenal for over a decade. He says the manual is in a digital format, which makes it easily accessible to everyone.
Well, so far the reception has been exceptionally good. It's only been out a very short while, in a matter of days, and you know, in terms of reviews, etc. I mean, I've had reviews from professional coach in Spain, and other reviews are coming in. So the response is very good. And as you know, initially in developing this manual, I obviously had to run it by a number of people to get various quotes from them. So the likes of Randy Harris, as president of CFU, obviously has made a comment in the manual. So has Russell Latipi, Ahmed Mohammed, Alan Sefton from Arsenal Football Club, Marlon Glean from FIFA, and Gustavo Paniani as well, who obviously is a friend of Barbados.
Well, retainer contracts for West Indies players will remain untouched for now. That's the latest update from CEO of Cricket West Indies, Johnny Grave, who told CBC Sports in an exclusive interview that any proposed pay cut for players as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic will be spread out across the board, including CWI staff.
How long we can continue to sustain all of these professional cricketers at the remuneration levels that were set back in early 2019 based on revenue projections under our MOU with WIPA. You know, we've established this committee to look into the finances and strategy, and I don't really want to preempt the work that they're going to do that will go to our board of directors by the end of the month. But clearly, under all sorts of different scenarios, we're having to make all sort of different reactions to what will be a drop in revenue. So it's the detail work that we're going through. As I said right from the outset, we very much feel that that we're a family at Cricket West Indies, and the players are very much part of that. So, you know, if we have to take cuts and drastic action to the players, we'll be trying to do that across the board to make sure that it gives us the best possible chance of keeping the organisation afloat over, you know, what might well be a very long period.
Grave also says it's a difficult position for CWI to be in at the moment, with more players in line for selection to the Windies senior men's team.
Picking the test squad to England would have been a real challenge. Picking, you know, a smaller group of maybe only 14 players would have been the original plan. You know, now it looks like we might have a squad, if the tour takes place, as many as 24 players, and even that I think will be a challenge for our selection panel because of the fact we've seen so many good performances in our 4-day championship by not just the established players, but also a group of very young and talented, exciting players. And we've seen that in the CPL, and we've seen that in the Global Cricket League in Canada in the Super 50 with our emerging players teams and our under-19s team, and our A team. And we've seen it with the white ball players, a group of very, very talented young players come through the ranks. We're now seeing that with our test players, and there's a group of players that want to play all forms of cricket, and I think that's really encouraging. And so being a selector is never an easy job, but I think, as you say, with so many of our established, experienced players wanting to play cricket, some of those players that have had injuries like Kemar Roach and Shannon Gabriel and Alzari Joseph, coming back from those injuries, and we've seen the work that they've done on social media in terms of the fitness and rehab that they've gone through. So this break and pause in cricket means that we've got very few injuries, therefore very few players currently unavailable.
And Damien is back now with our final look at sports.
Well, the Faculty of Sports at the University of the West Indies Cayfield campus is reassuring that it will be business as usual once the COVID-19 pandemic has passed. That's the word from the head of the academy, Amanda Rifa.
I just want to reassure the members of the public, both locally and across the region, that the Faculty of Sport is discussing the reopening. We are in our management meetings and our planning meetings to ensure that when the all clear is given for us to go back to some form of normalcy after this pandemic, that we will continue to deliver the expert and quality and high quality programming, sport programming that we are accustomed to offering, and we are open for business. Our facilities, once again, will be available for rentals. We will also be engaging from our community outreach activities that we hold so dear to us, and we are just excited to welcome back our students and our student athletes to the Cayfield campus, and in particular to the Academy of Sport. So rest assured, it will be business as usual. We will continue to put measures in place to be ready for when that reopening comes.
She says currently the coaches have been finding ways to keep athletes active during this lockdown period.
The coaches continue to work with the athletes. During this time, they would engage them from the perspective of having them send workout videos, technical videos for them to comment and analyze, and also they provided spaces for the athletes and forums to discuss, and even having some social activities, challenges and so forth to keep them occupied. At this time, during this time, the students were still engaged in assignments and handing in assignments. So as an Academy of Sport, we ensured that they were able to balance both the academic side in terms of handing in their assignments and so, but also providing that social, recreational, and physical sporting online space.
Finally, the infection of 3 people at German top flight soccer team FC Cologne has raised questions about the safety of a possible Bundesliga restart amid of the coronavirus pandemic. Top leagues around Europe also face similar problems to determine the best course of action.